Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Should be illegal to have this much fun.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
I know, right?
I was just thinking, man. I was just thinking,
up.
You know, back in the day, I had a lot of pain, right? Like we were chatting on.
I laughed a lot. People saw me laughing a lot.
Yeah, we're in the middle of our summer series,
which might last through 2028. By the way,
I mean, it took us about 4 seconds to plan it, but we're in the middle of our summer series with Big Joe's back and Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan's back, and just having a great time, just jumping in, and you know, I'm just sitting there thinking that. Our last episode, we were talking about, there was fun.
Yeah,
like
right.
there were some times that I had a lot of fun drinking, but that dial moved. You know, it used to be 100% fun, 0% pain.
Right.
And then over time, I remember the last time I relapsed, I went to the casino. I mean, literally, I hadn't drank in like 6 months, and I'm driving to a liquor store and like, call your sponsor, fuck that, call your sponsor, fuck that, call your sponsor, fuck that. And because I wanted to drink.
Yeah, right, sure.
I wanted, so I went to the
you were
liquor store.
determined.
I'm buying the bottle, call your sponsor, fuck that. Right? And so I did what I always did. I found a hotel room at this casino. And I remember I was making some phone calls, and I remember the very first drink, ice and vodka. Very first drink. I mean, I had like 3 sips, felt a little burn, and I started puking.
Oh.
I'm like, there was no fun in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you switched to beer?
That's hilarious. Yeah. You know, I actually have a story about that. You know, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to control this. Right? I'm only going to drink 2 Amstel Lights.
Right.
First night, I drank 2 Amstel Lights.
Ding, 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 ding. Is that a sponsor of our program?
Second night, 2 Amstel Lights. I had superpowers like I can't describe.
For a week?
Like, no. Night number 3, I had 3 Amstel Lights. I'm like, I fucked it up. Okay, I'll get back the next night to 2 Amstel Lights only. Right? The fourth night, I had 2 Amstel Lights and a handle. I mean,
and a handle.
And a hand. I had the 2 Amstel Lights.
Well, guys, he needed to fall asleep.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. Technically, you kept to the Amstel Light rule, just the number.
I can't tell you how many times I took drinks at 2 a.m., like 2 big red solo cups full, because I had to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just
crazy.
Your
body just
craving.
My
God, it was just crazy.
Craving.
All right,
so what do we get? So we're going to do something. We're going to mix it up.
We actually have
a summer series.
Yeah, we have a summer series.
We have an activity.
This is our rapid fire espresso shots summer series version.
That's I like it. I like it.
So that's our setup. So, you know, I started to explain to Ryan and Joe what the rapid shots are, and Mike's like, let's just do it live. Okay. Right. So Joe normally gives a nice 12-minute answer. We're going to try to condense that, okay, to like your gut reaction, 12 seconds or less,
right? And maybe a follow-up sentence.
Yeah, but just like we're looking for so we're going to have like 10 of them, right? So espresso shots, right? Not vodka shots, but espresso shots, very quick. And we'll have like 10 of them, right?
12 seconds or less. I mean, there's only a couple things I can do in 12 seconds or less. So
I know that's normally how Ryan answers.
We got to answer like an auctioneer.
Okay, all right,
you go.
Who's
all right? So
Glenn's going to fire them. I'm going to fire them.
Oh, okay.
Let's go around the table. Then you can fire one. You can fire one. So Glenn, you start.
Okay.
All right,
and then you
and
go.
Then I'll do
Joe,
one.
Then Ryan.
Right. That's right.
And then whoever asks the question, the other 3 rapid fires.
That's right.
Okay. Got it, man. Brian, we're all set. All right,
fire away.
Some people say AA doesn't work.
They don't work it.
Yeah, they're not serious about being sober.
bullshit?
Okay.
All right. Favorite recovery song? Anyone can jump in.
You know what? It's not necessarily specifically recovery, but I would say "Ants Marching" by Dave Matthews.
Okay,
just kind of gets me into. All right, we're good.
Okay,
there.
Love it.
All right, mine is, and I have several of them from Blue October, but my number one is "Home." He talks about getting sober, and he says there's a key line in there: "A few friends show me how," and you guys are a few of those friends who show me how.
Nice.
Very meaningful
Awesome.
to me.
Oh,
in fact, I just got chills.
Top that, Joe.
Yeah.
Shit, good luck,
I
buddy.
was going to say maybe I I don't.
All right, rapid fire.
Highway to hell.
Okay, there's
Highway to hell.
that 12-second
bitch is
answer is
back.
not coming. Highway to hell. I like it. I'll go with that one.
Highway to hell.
I'm speechless. You caught me without an answer.
I think that was pre-sobriety, though.
Fire off a question.
How quick do you receive the promises in the program?
Slowly. Super slow.
Yeah, super slow. Yeah, I don't realize it in the moment. It takes time to sink in.
I think you have to look back and realize that you are receiving them. I don't think you even notice when they're coming. I think in the rearview mirror you go, wow, that was a promise.
And the funny thing is, like, they call them God shots, and I think you're getting them as, the day you put the booze down. I think that's the first minuscule promise that you don't even recognize.
Okay.
A lot of years between the four of us, so this question is going to be maybe tough, but if you had to say favorite AA moment over the course of your sobriety.
First year anniversary.
Yeah.
Kimberly and Lindsay bought me
yeah.
a little gift bag celebrating my first year, and
Yeah.
that was special for me then, and it's more special for me today.
Yeah.
Just take me a minute. I have so many. So many of them. I would probably say my favorite AA moments are with my sponsor. He is an absolute missionary lighthouse. Probably my number one moment, AA sponsor moment, if that's an AA moment. I had his neurosurgeon red scrubs at 2 or 3 in the morning and say, I'm not going to live through the night. I got brain bleed, and I'm not going to live.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do. And I'm like, okay. I leaned back. Next thing I knew, I opened my eyes, and I was a 4-6. I opened my eyes, and here comes Timmy strolling in at 3 o'clock in the morning, living the program, bringing the program to me, sitting with me, and he goes, we'll get through this. And I'm like, you obviously weren't here in the room. He's like, he was just, that's proof that this AA shit works.
Yeah, 100%. I would say for me, maybe our first golf outing we put together.
Yeah.
That was,
good.
and that
People showed up.
Yeah, well, yeah, we did. We actually had a good turnout.
Yeah.
Ryan and I, we had it for a few years actually.
Like COVID hit, we stopped.
Well, and it kind of, but I enjoyed that was really a fun part of sobriety.
Has someone picked up the torch and carried that
There
on
is-
for you,
there
or
is,
is that something you two should be doing?
It was actually before COVID that stopped. No. There still is one. So
Okay,
Phil
good.
has done it now,
Yeah,
and it
done a great job.
Done a great job. It's at Silver Lakes now, so it's a lot of fun. It's awesome.
Yep.
And it's grown. Phil's done a great job.
Good.
Yep.
Awesome.
He's got a lot more time, with a sales job than Joe and I do. Phil, if you're listening,
Right,
but
right.
so
Definitely time is on his side.
mine would be a kind of where like worlds collided a little bit. We have a fantasy football league that we're going on like 7 years, and we had a draft at Joe's house, and it was my son was 3 months old, and I brought him over there.
Yeah.
And Haley was
Haley
there too.
came,
Haley
yeah,
came
yep,
with,
yep.
and everyone was like kind of passing around my son.
Yeah.
Like he was a
Football.
Kinda-
Or I was
kinda
gonna say like a
token.
I was gonna say like it was a handle, but no, everyone's kind of taking turns holding him, and he's smiling, he's loving it. My wife's loving it, but it was kind of like it was really cool to step back and see, like I got two
The
worlds,
worlds
and then
all
like
together.
how everyone was
That's
so
awesome.
happy that for me, but happy that we had this little human there that was part of sobriety, part of my, and then my wife was there to see it, and everyone was great to her, and Joe puts on a good spread and was a great host, and it was just a really good day.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Great times.
All right, great. All right, each of us list 3 ways that you can quote-unquote serve in AA, and you can't repeat what the other person says.
Oh, I better jump in quick.
Yeah.
Be a sponsor, number 1. Number 2, be sponsor-like to other people in the room that might not have a sponsor.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've never said it.
Nice.
And then number 3, I would say clean the bathroom. Someone has to.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Service work being one of them, like you said. Picking up the phone. Picking up the phone when other people call, no matter close friend or not. being there, and showing up at meetings, going to meetings, being accountable, being available.
Yeah. So I would say on top of the picking up the phone, like an extension of that is like trying to help somebody who's maybe going through it, right? Like I got a text the other day, someone who wasn't really having a great day, and I didn't know this person very well, and I don't think they were intended, but I'm just trying to just be there, right? Helping them out, helping them through. Even though I'm not too familiar with their story, that was part of it. The other thing is we are keeping the fantasy football league going. That is so important for my sobriety because it's like August to February where it's just a group of guys, 12 guys who just, we're connected in the rooms. We don't always see each other, but then we're connected outside the rooms. We have, a way to camaraderie or whatever, even though some people who we already mentioned earlier in this podcast are a pain in the ass during the league. It's just a lot of fun.
Who could you be referring to?
That would be another relative of yours, but and not Tom.
And not,
but,
not the good cousin?
Yeah. My God, I almost
no, it's good. But you know what? But then the other thing is, on top of the fantasy football thing, we're expanding, right? New people are coming in, and it's not exclusive by any means. It's just a group. But the funny thing is, and I don't mean to rant, but I'm going to. It's my day, guys.
Hey, so your week, your month,
but
your world.
When we started the league 7 or 8 years ago, whatever it was, we were scrambling to find 10 guys.
Yeah, right.
Now we're we have people who are kind of dropping out, but we need to expand.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just cool to see.
Nice, awesome. Gun, can you answer your same one?
Yeah, one is to include people, invite people, right?
Okay.
And it takes guts. I mean, there's nothing worse in the world where you invite people to do something and nobody responds. But that bothered me so much to begin with, and I just kept inviting, and eventually people show up. Second is podcasting. I got to say that that's a different thing.
Yeah,
right.
Good call.
I just love that.
Good call.
And then thirdly is sharing and participating in meetings. I remember working with a guy. He's like, man, I just don't feel connected to anybody in these groups. I'm like, dude, you show up at 7:05, you leave at 7:55, you leave your camera off, you don't put your name on there. It says Galaxy, right? You don't share, you don't read, you don't talk to anybody, right? And so I'm like, why don't we change those 8 things? And then within 2 weeks, he had 5 new friends. Everybody talked to him. Everybody engaged with him, right? So, but I think there's value in sharing your story. It helps somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agree.
All right, my rapid fire is favorite AA quote, and then follow up with the one that you think is overplayed.
All right. Favorite AA quote is keep coming back. I mean,
it's such a smart-ass quote.
It is, but I love it. But I mean,
That's
let's face it. I mean, we love to say it because, we like to be, again, just because we're sober doesn't mean we can't have fun. So, we like to bust balls. And we like to laugh and crack jokes, and it entertains
So when
us.
someone says something stupid at the meeting, we say, keep coming back. It's a sign that says what you said was fucking stupid. and
you need to saying that.
You need to know this.
We don't necessarily mean keep coming back. We mean it for ourselves.
When you do, don't say that again.
So, Joe, every time somebody says it to you, I just thought they were encouraging you to actually come back to another meeting.
No,
but
they're
now
just
I know
telling
why.
me to shut the fuck up.
Now I know why.
That's what it is.
Tap, tap.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What's the overrated one, Joe? Sorry to play host.
Yes. What's overrated?
I got a good one for the overrated.
Wait for the. Be patient for the promises.
Yeah.
And
you want them today?
Yeah. Well, don't we all? I wanted them yesterday.
Yeah.
And again, that's the hardest thing. Now, again, the more time you have, obviously we get to be more patient. But in the beginning, let's face it, your world's it's in shambles. So you want shit now.
Yeah. My favorite would be from the readings. The idea that we could drink normally has to be smashed, right? And I'm butchering the quote, but it just, every now and then that creeps into my head, and nope, got to go. And then the overrated one is, well, I just turn it over.
Oh my God,
just turn it over. I used to hear that a lot in the beginning, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? And then I realized, no, it's just bullshit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice, Glenn.
All right, so there's 1,000 of them, right? So the one and it's not really an AA one, it's not in the AA book, but it's in our rooms, and you'll certainly recognize it. There's a guy that shares a story about the no exit sign, where he used to sit through meetings and stare at the no exit sign on top of the door, and all he thought about was when the meeting was going to be over so he could exit. and he was just showing up, and that no exit sign, that's something I have in my mind often. It's like, man, you don't graduate from this; you just keep going, right? Ryan, I'm going to tag team with you. It's the give it to God shit.
Yeah,
give it up to God. Oh, just give it to God. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, right.
And that.
But I've had some help on that over time.
And that's not a critique of the people who say that, right? But it's like, I
you don't want to hear it at the time.
It's not even that. I mean, I do think it's stupid when I hear it, but I don't find it to be all that applicable. Like, I just give it to God. It's like
everybody's level of spirituality is different. I mean, people come in, they may not believe in God, so that's not fitting.
Yeah, and there's still I think it's like, I just turn it over and things are better. It's like, well, that doesn't work for me. I think it's more like the second part of that is you have to do the work, right? Like, God can move mountains, you have to bring a shovel or whatever that quote is.
That's a good quote. Yeah, and that is true.
That's a good one.
That goes with work, that goes with everything. I mean, you need to be willing to get your hands in and get dirty and be willing to do something.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel like it. I've learned.
Oh, yeah.
I do 80% of my life. I don't feel like doing it. I just do it. But the feelings come afterwards.
Man.
Yeah. Like after you reflect, you guys were talking about, earlier about reflecting back and really mattering. That was a good one, Mikey.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mike.
Joe, you're up.
All right. In the AA program, I have a question.
Joe, I think the question is supposed to be rapid fire too.
Well, yeah. Well, we were kind of.
Joe, we were told to think about this beforehand. Yeah. So the fact that you're not prepared.
All right. All right. No, I'm actually not prepared.
I can go if you want, Joe.
Okay. Let's talk attendance, because I know that is. Hey, I figured you might like that. Attendance.
What are you going to say?
I like where you're going.
Let's talk attendance.
Okay.
So again, very cliche. And everybody's different. But what do you feel is an adequate amount of AA attendance, and then things that you do, that are AA correlated, throughout the week. We'll call it a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go to you, Rye.
All right. So everyone's different, right? For me, I go to 2 meetings a week, Sunday and then a weekday one. And but every day, Glenn talks about this a lot too. He does the same things, right? Every day, I get a morning text, right? A pick-me-up text. And then I get, I'd usually talk to my sponsor, maybe talk to you. I'll talk to my sponsee, every day. And then I get an afternoon text just to kind of keep me going, and then I get the alert at 9 a.m. for the reading, right? So, like, those are the things that, even if I'm not at a meeting, I still have AA on my mind every single day. And that, that's what's been working for me.
I like that.
All right, so I love that. I do 26 things a day, a week, a month to stay sober. Sobriety is my life. It's the number one thing, most important thing in my life. But to answer your question specifically, I go to a minimum of 1 a week. I go to a maximum of 1 a week. no. Lately, I used to go to 10, right? But my schedule today, I just can't do it. But I also do many other things. Like, I'm sitting here for 4 hours, right?
Absolutely.
And that's not a meeting, but is it focused on sobriety? Yeah, right. So, but what I will say is, I know meeting makers make it. Meeting makers make it, right? Yeah. I mean, I know that for a fact. Right. And part of that is when I pull away, I start getting cranky, right?
Yeah.
And when I watch other people pull away, from A, our church group on Monday nights, B, meetings. Yeah. When I see people pull away, their life is not as good. Up until including relapsing.
Yeah. Right.
So I am very aware of that. I know when I'm getting head trash and I'm getting cranky. My wife knows when I'm getting head trash and cranky. She's like, they probably have a meeting today somewhere, right?
Right.
And she rarely says it, but so I think meetings are very important. I try to go to 1, maybe 2 a week.
Yeah. I'm totally in line with what you're saying. Meetings were such an important part of my life. In early sobriety, I didn't miss a day. I had a minimum of 1 a day. Now my life has changed, but my gauge is 2 things. Number one is is my sobriety still the most important thing in my life? And I ask myself that question, am I acting like it every day? So I love what you said, Ryan, because it's just integrated into my day.
Yeah.
I get my text messages, my phone calls, and that's super important. The other thing is that, am I acting? So my bigger gauge, how many meetings do I go to now? Maybe 2.5 a week, the half I leave early, Ryan. I knew you were going to jump on that. That's why I never sign up to do the promises, because that's at the end. Now that's a commitment.
Yeah.
But I would say I would tell the newcomer they're the most important thing. I would tell me they're still very important. Pay attention to them. It's a bit of a guilty question you asked there, right there, for me.
Well, you're right, and I think you both. Number one, you do this, Mike. So it's like, again, this is all correlated, and I think that's all part of it. And again, yes, I used to go to a therapist and how many. Psychologist and try to figure out why I was doing the things I was doing. And, and again, they stressed AA, of course, but again, like I've often said, that hour a day is great and you need it, but what about the other 23 hours? And it's like, you need to have people that you're associated with. And again, to your points, well, I mean, I can't. It's scheduling. I can't make a ton of meetings. I try to do 1, maybe 2 a week.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I work with guys that are in the program. Right. So again, we're still program based. I've talked to all you guys. And again, that is still I'm talking to a lot of guys in the program. That's all. And again, when you do stuff. When you do stuff socially, again, if we're playing golf or we're out getting something to eat or whatever we're doing, I mean, that's still, to me, that is kind of like, it's like almost like a break-off meeting.
Right.
Like this, like you guys. I mean, this is
a meeting.
This is sober.
Yeah, right.
This is how, this is all, like, for people that don't see it, this is how you stay sober and stay sober for 11 years, is doing shit like this.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the one thing I learned is, one thing that's really helped me is I have built a world of sobriety, and I have built guardrails every area of my life. I've got a guardrail at work. Every one of my partners know I'm an alcoholic. Every one of my partners know I go to meetings. Every one of my partners know I'm not going to drink, right? And then I just hired a new admin person at work, and I mean, she knows me very intimately. She knows my life. She knows my wife. She knows my family. She knows my sober story. She knows my spirituality story, right? And I'm like, no better person than to be at all these events, right?
Yeah, right?
From an accountability standpoint, like, I'm not going to go try to hook up with somebody, right? I'm not going to try to sneak into the back and have the waiter pour me a vodka, right? All the shit I used to do,
right?
So you just build a world of accountability, of being transparent, and man, it's just so much easier than playing all those fucking games. Yeah. All right, Ryan, you're up.
All right, kind of a two-parter, but did you ever have a time, in all your sobriety, your years or whatever, a time period where you were maybe a little, had maybe more of a negative outlook toward the program, or maybe a little tired of it, right? And then because it happens, and what did you do to course correct?
Keep coming back. What I've learned, there's something on Facebook that says your thoughts and feelings are valid. Act on them. I did that for 50 years, and it got me all fucked up.
Yeah.
So I just keep very rarely. In fact, this morning, I want to sleep in. I'm like, very rarely do I ever feel like doing what I'm doing in the moment. I just do it anyhow, and those feelings come afterwards.
Yeah. For me,
just do it.
Yeah, I think that. I think it's usually. I was taught early on by somebody, and I don't know specifically what they said, but the feeling was every meeting's a good meeting. It's what I put into the meeting is what I'm going to take out of the meeting, right? And it's easy to go in and say, oh man, I'm in the parking lot. It's 5 minutes to 7 in the morning. Like I really should be going to work, but I got some flexibility, and I go in there. Maybe it's not where I want to be, but I need to act like it is. And then 59 minutes later, I'm feeling great walking out of the meeting.
Yeah, for me, again, it was probably pulling back a little bit from the meeting schedule. As I got busier with life. Kids were, I was coaching softball, I was doing things, business was picking up, I was pulling back. So, and again, I don't think it was anything personal to do with that. It just was life. But, I did feel that, that was part, that was all part of it, was just, kind of like taking a break. And it is, I'm, like Glenn said, I'm very regimented. I know I have to do something, I just do it. Go through the motions. I may not want to, but I do. It's like Sundays. A lot of times Sundays, I'm even working on Sundays. So it's like, I don't want to get up and go there, but I do it because I know I need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, a couple of years ago, when we were having the meetings, it was the 7 a.m.s during COVID, and we had to space apart and mask up and all that stuff. And like, I used it as an excuse because my wife was pregnant at the time. Like, she was pregnant, basically, like COVID hit, and she was pregnant we found out she was pregnant a couple months later. So I used an excuse not to go.
Sure.
Right. And that
and
also.
That's pretty valid, actually.
Yeah. That was also because.
I'll use that next time I don't want to go to a meeting.
No, yeah.
My wife could be pregnant.
My wife could be pregnant.
She's 64, but whatever.
That would just be impressive.
Yes.
To be honest. But I used it as an excuse, like, because we knew somebody who also got COVID while they were pregnant, and it was bad.
Oh, okay.
But I also know that, like, Joe was chairing, he didn't enforce the mask rule,
right?
So
He
Joe knew. I believe he didn't enforce any rules. Joe knew. I believe COVID was real. So
and there was a lot of people that felt otherwise.
There were a lot of people that were
COVID's
wearing
still
the
alive
mask
and
on
well,
their
Ryan. Don't worry.
the mask on their chin and
Right,
shit. So
sure.
I'm like, you know what? But really, I used an excuse to like pull back.
Yeah.
And then what I did is, one of the quotes that I constantly, it's not an AA quote, but it's something that I constantly say to myself is stay the course, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually upped my meeting schedule, and slowly but surely started being like, all right, I need to be here,
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, one last one.
One
Ready?
last one. Go, fire away.
Okay, all right. What do you say to the person who just came back to the room after a relapse?
Oh, man.
I had that situation happen a couple times, and I just went and met with them and said, all right, what now? Okay. You did it. What now? I don't care. I don't want to hear I don't care what, like, I know what led up to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear
about
why.
the triggers?
Yeah. Why and
Right.
what. It's like, what now? What are we going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Solution-based.
I'm going through that now with one of my guys, and again, I don't know, and you guys all know him. I'm not going to mention him, but
Is it Phil?
yeah.
Tom.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
right.
I'm kidding, Phil.
Next week, we're going to have Phil on for rebuttal.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm not related to him. I can just tell you
let's
that.
get Phil
Boy,
on.
that cuts out half the program.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They say it's a family affair. But again, you can't tell somebody. I mean, they got to do it. It's like everything. They got to experience it for themselves. So when you come back, I mean, again, it's hey, like you said, dust yourself off. Let's start it again. How many times did I relapse? How many times did you? You know what I mean?
None.
We
Couple.
yeah.
None.
Right.
Yeah, mine has 0.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I relapsed, and I had 6 months, and relapsed, and I had 3 months, and I did that shit for years. So, I think that's part of most people's journey.
No, I don't. I know where you're going with this because I'm a coddler by nature. I want to be on somebody's softer side. However, I read something this morning in the parking lot on social media, which is what everyone should be doing at 5:30 on a Saturday morning, is looking at their social media.
Fact-based.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right,
it said
right.
Recovery is not a life sentence. Addiction is, right? A death sentence. I'm sorry. Not recovery is not a death sentence. Addiction is. I'm impressed when people come back. Yeah. That's the one thing I'm like, damn, I don't know that I would come back. After what I put into this, I don't know that I'd have it in me to walk back through these rooms and start over at day one, man. But how do I respond to them? I probably coddle a little more than you'd like.
Yeah,
because it is life and death, and I shouldn't be coddling.
So perspective, I mean, I relapsed hundreds of times. And I enjoy being coddled. I like being the center of focus. I like being the spotlight. Oh, Glenn, glad you're back. But over time, and I think I learned this, and I think we learned this because we've been to funerals of people who have relapsed.
Yeah.
And So I think of it less of a coddling event. And I'm not saying punch somebody in the face. I was Angry Sammy, used to do that.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to be a fire alarm, right? I think it needs to be a fire alarm, like something in your program is fucked up, and you need to really take it seriously. So I like Ryan's approach, where you just sit them down and shake them a little bit. But you sit there and say, I mean, we have that guy John, in our room. He relapsed and he drove himself to the hospital and died in his car in the parking lot, going to get help. I mean, we have so many stories like that. So, I just don't want to brush it off. And then people think, well, you don't really go back to day zero. Okay, what world do you live in?
Right.
I mean, I'll tell you what, there's so many people out there to justify, especially in social media land, try to justify, right? But I think it's a fire alarm. I'm glad I wasn't punched in the face, because I probably wouldn't have come back.
Right.
I mean, I know the hardest thing I had to deal with coming back was Angry Sammy.
Yeah, right.
But I enjoyed the hugs. But I also had some pretty tense talking to from my sponsor. Some pretty harsh stuff that you better start paying attention, or you won't be around. So
Okay, good.
Man,
hey, this has been good.
Guys,
Yeah, good
bunch
rapid
of
fire,
meat, man. Bunch of filet mignon.
Hey, can we continue the summer series next week?
Man, I'm exhausted in the summer series. This thing, what is it? 4 summers long?
Amen.
All right, man.
Bring it back.
Love you guys.
Thanks,
Come
back next week.
Thanks,
You
guys.
got it.
All right, awesome.
Great to have you.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.
Stay safe in the city of Chicago. Beautiful city.